People happy, clapping as always before the opening of the market. We're kicking off a new trading week. As we said, the Dow has had 7 losing weeks in a row. Haven't done that for over 20 years. All right, we are off and running. The buttons are being pushed. Let's take a look at the Dow 30 as we just get the first trades recorded. All right, Walmart, Chevron, Merck up at the top. Salesforce, Apple and Visa at the bottom. We are down on the Dow about 75 points right out of the chute. Let's take a look at the S&P. Also down slightly, about 1/3% at 40,011, above 4,000 rather, not 40. That would be something. Above 4,000, but the Nasdaq down now more than 0.5% at 11,730. So it is a modestly lower beginning. Let's take a look at the big tech. We've been talking about big tech, and is there an opportunity to buy here? Well, Microsoft down again. Sorry, Stu. 1%. Apple, Alphabet, Amazon, Meta, all down again. Meta platforms, or Facebook, as it used to be known, down 1%. And let's take a look at Twitter, falling today, down, approaching 4%. Let's bring in Susan Lee. Good morning, Susan. This has got to be related to the Elon Musk somehow, right? To something he said or done. Well,
there are doubts about the deal, especially after Elon Musk said the deal was on hold temporarily. And then over the weekend, you had Elon Musk tweeting that Twitter lawyers have warned that he may have broken an NDA, those non-disclosure agreements in these type of deals, by tweeting out his 100 sample size bot test, and also adding this weekend, I thought this was pretty funny, that whoever says owning the libs would be cheap and never tried to acquire a social media company, exclamation point. So here's the thing. Wall Street is pretty much in consensus that this is either a renegotiation tactic to possibly get a lower price, or possibly an excuse for Elon Musk to, first of all, prove Twitter fraud and misrepresentation so he can walk away, either having to pay that $1 billion breakup fee, which isn't a lot of money for somebody that's worth $200 billion, or he could even pay something less than that $1 billion to walk away if he can prove that it's fraud with those actual user numbers. Now, Musk's calculus has changed, obviously, in this deal. Tesla stock is down 40% from the peaks. And don't forget, he is pledging some of that Tesla stock and wealth in trying to acquire Twitter. Also, social media companies have been discounted 25% in this sell-off. So without Musk, Twitter might be worth sub $30, according to a lot of Wall Street analysts. And by the way, there's no second bidder right now. So if Elon Musk doesn't buy, who else is stepping in? There isn't anybody raising their hand right now.
Good point. And if you had to bet on anyone breaking an NDA, I think Elon Musk would come in first, for sure. All right, we'll move on. Show me Bitcoin. The founder of the crypto exchange FTX says Bitcoin has no future as a payment. Tell me why.
Because Bitcoin's underlying blockchain technology is hard to scale, according to Sam Bankman-Fried, who's a 30-year-old, $20 billion rich billionaire. Now, so the underlying technology under Bitcoin blockchain is called proof of work, and you can only mine a Bitcoin by verifying millions, if not billions, of transactions used on that Bitcoin blockchain. So that kind of technology, it needs too much time, too much energy to be able to use millions of transactions per second, which is how you transact payments. So Ethereum might be better as it moves to new, faster technology in its blockchain technology, but you have Bitcoin still sub 30,000 this morning, right? This is after crypto's $270 billion 48-hour crash last week, and SBF, second richest man in crypto. As I mentioned to you, FTX US has 1.2 million users here in the US. It could be getting a New York license pretty soon. But, you know, he also made headlines last week when he bought that 7.5% stake in Robinhood for $650 million, third largest holder in Hood. So I have to tell you that SBF is one to watch in the future. They've called him the next Mark Zuckerberg. And if he wants to get into equity trading, not just crypto trading, he is definitely a force to be reckoned with.
He is a mover and a shaker. All right, let's take a look at Netflix. Been a pretty rotten time for Netflix, but guess what? They're up 2.5% after getting a surprise upgrade.
So Webb Bush has been a bear for a long time. All of a sudden, because we're down to 2017 levels on Netflix stock, now they're bullish. They're going overweight on Netflix, and they're talking about the staggered release of hit shows like Ozark and Stranger Things that will help reduce churn when it comes to users, and that's why Netflix might be positioned to grow in their view. Now, it won't get back to $600, $700 plus levels for some time, but it will bounce, they say, off its lowest from 2017. That's where we're trading at right now. And it's been quite a turnaround for Michael Pachter to all of a sudden go bullish on Netflix shares. It took a huge sell-off, obviously.
Yeah, look at that graph. It's just a cliff. Anyway, let's check out Rivian.
Yeah.
Exactly. Rivian, Ford is selling more shares of the company. How many are they offloading?
Yeah, another 7 million Rivian shares. So that's on top of the 8 million that they sold last week. You know, Ford still owns around 9.5% in Rivian. They're still a big stockholder. They have 75 million shares on their books still. And Rivian did rally last week after reaffirming that 25,000 truck production target for this year. And they had 90,000 reservations. So there's a lot of demand for their pickup trucks if they ever get it on the roads faster. Tesla, by the way, since we're on this electric truck theme and electric car theme, it has the widest analyst gap of all stocks out there. We're talking about $250 calls all the way to $620 a share, according to analysts. Now, the stock is up 22,000% since its 2010 IPO. And, you know, ARK Invest, Cathie Wood, still calling 4,600 for the stock by 2026. But I think there's some Shanghai COVID lockdown hangover over this stock today. And then let's also check in on Lucid, which is the other high-flying electric car name. Gas prices hitting a record high, not helping the stock right now.
You don't say 22,000% very often, but hey.
It's incredible.
I guess Tesla. Let's take a look at JetBlue and Spirit Airlines.
Yeah.
Spirit rejecting JetBlue's earlier takeover, but now JetBlue may go hostile in this.
Yeah, definitely. So this is interesting because the tender offer in this hostile bid is $30 a share. That's what JetBlue is offering to buy Spirit Airlines in cash. Now, remember that Spirit said no the first time, and guess how much JetBlue was offering then? They were offering more at $33. But I guess because of the sell-off that we're seeing in virtually everything in the stock market, including in airline stocks, so JetBlue is saying, well, actually $30 might look good to shareholders. I mean, Spirit and their executive board can say no, but stockholders, that might be pretty lucrative in their view. So if this deal gets done, it would be the 5th largest air carrier in America. But don't forget, you still have Frontier out there. They already have this agreement with Spirit. But I think it depends on the stakeholders and whether or not they think $30 is enough to get it through.
Exactly. Interesting to follow, though. Susan Lee, thank you so much for that recap of some of the big stories going on. Let's take a look at the Dow winners, if we can, in the very early going. 7.5 minutes into the session. Energy doing fine. Chevron, Travelers, Merck, Amgen, and Caterpillar. J&J on there, too, up just about 0.5%. On the S&P 500, Netflix, we just talked about them, getting an upgrade from Wedbush, up 3%. Occidental Peat, another energy play, up nearly 3%. Cigna, up 2.25%. And the NASDAQ winners, well, of course, Netflix again, Electronic Arts, EA, T-Mobile up 0.5% as well. Those are the top winners on the NASDAQ so far, about 8 minutes into the session. Quick check of the big board. The Dow itself off just slightly, 0.2%, down 52 points. Checking the 10-year Treasury yield, down close to 2 basis points at 2.900, 2.9 exactly on the 10-year. Taking a look at gold, down another couple of bucks. It's at $1,806 for gold. Take a look at Bitcoin, been hovering around the 30,000 mark. It's under that now, down 238 bucks at 29,718 on Bitcoin. Oil, meanwhile, still at $110 a barrel, down just 33 cents, not exactly the relief we've been hoping for. And nat gas up 6.3% at $8.14. And once again, the average price for a gallon of regular gas in the United States is at $4.48. It hurts every time you fill up the vehicle. In California, you're crying. It hurts so much you're crying. It's almost $6, $5.99 a gallon of regular, the average price in the Golden State.